I know. Health is one of those things we often don't truly think about until something happens. But today, I want you to hear this. Before it's too late. Drop a 1 in the comments if you or someone you love over the age of 60 takes a vitamin every morning. Maybe it's for heart health. Maybe it's for memory. Or maybe it's just because your doctor or the label said it's great for seniors. My name is Dr. Robert. I'm 60 years old, and I've spent more than 30 years working with patients in their 52nd, 62nd, even well into their 92nd. And today, I'm not just speaking as a doctor. I'm speaking as a son. A son who watched his own mother collapse beside the breakfast table. Because of a vitamin. Vitamin E. Yes, that innocent-sounding name when taken in high doses can increase the risk of hemorrhagic stroke by up to 22%. And the heartbreaking truth is, most people have no idea. Are you taking it every morning? Are you thinking, it's just a vitamin? What harm could it do? I want to invite you to stay with me. Just a few more minutes. Because what I'm about to share isn't just science. It's lived experience. It's tears. It's hard lessons paid for with real lives. And most importantly, it might save yours or someone you love with just one small action. Check the label on the bottle in your medicine cabinet. Are you ready? Let's begin. I want to tell you a true story about a woman named Barbara. She's 71 years old. Short silver hair, a warm, gentle smile, and hands that are always busy tending to her little garden or making handmade birthday cards for her grandkids. Barbara is one of my patients. And let me tell you, she is incredibly health conscious. She eats a Mediterranean diet, greens, olive oil, salmon. She walks every morning with her childhood best friend. And of course, she takes her vitamins faithfully. During a routine checkup, she smiled and told me, "Doctor, I've been taking extra vitamin E 800 IU every morning for my heart." She said it with this proud little sparkle in her eyes, a bit like a schoolgirl getting praise. And I froze. Because in that moment, I realized Barbara was holding a ticking time bomb without even knowing it. Just days earlier, I had reviewed a new report from the Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins. Over 300,000 participants. And the conclusion was crystal clear. High-dose vitamin E doesn't protect your heart. It increases the risk of hemorrhagic stroke by 22%. Especially in people over 60. Now, maybe you're thinking, "But doctor, I'm just taking supplements. It's not like I'm popping poison." And I get it. We were all raised with the belief that vitamins are always good, always necessary. And we've been taught that more means better. But modern medicine is showing us the opposite. Even good things, when taken the wrong way, in the wrong dose, can become silent destroyers. I've seen it in the cloudy, confused eyes of stroke survivors, in the tears of families who never imagined that a harmless-looking bottle of heart-healthy vitamins could be the thing that took their loved one down. And I'm sharing this not to scare you, but to wake you up. Because awareness isn't fear, it's power. Have you ever asked yourself, how could something as tiny as a vitamin cause something so serious? Let me explain it to you simply. In your bloodstream, there are these tiny first responders we call platelets. Think of them like miniature plumbers. Whenever a blood vessel develops a tiny leak, a pretty normal thing as we age, these platelets rush over and plug the hole. They're your body's emergency repair crew. They're what keep those little problems from becoming disasters. But here's the issue. When you take high doses of vitamin E, especially from synthetic supplements. Those platelets get slippery. They can't stick together. They can't seal the leak. It's like trying to patch a pipe with wet soap. And this isn't just some theory out of a medical journal. It happened. Right inside the home of a man named Richard. He's 74. A retired school teacher. Funny guy. Always cracking jokes about his students. That night, he played cards with his wife. They laughed. Watched videos of their grandkids. Everything was fine. But the next morning, Richard woke up and couldn't speak. Just sounds. Confusion in his eyes, panic in hers. It was a stroke. One of the blood vessels in his brain had been leaking all night long, and no one knew. Because the platelets couldn't do their job. They had been disarmed by vitamin E. The MRI showed a hemorrhage the size of a walnut. It hit the part of the brain responsible for speech and memory. And it hit hard. 2 years later, Richard still can't get through a full sentence. Still searches for words he once used every day. And the reason? 800 IU of vitamin E. Not a crazy megadose. Just the exact amount sold in most drugstores labeled heart healthy. The kind so many people trust without question. I know. We're living in a time where the voice of advertising often speaks louder than the voice of medicine. Every time you walk into a pharmacy, you'll see it. Rows of vitamin E bottles, neatly lined up on the shelf. Big, bold labels. Heart healthy. Golden lettering. Senior formula. No warnings. No age restrictions. Not a single mention of stroke risk. Have you ever paused and asked yourself, why hasn't anyone told me what I'm telling you today? Here's the truth. Supplement companies aren't regulated the same way pharmaceutical companies are. They can use soft language, supports heart health, maintains brain function without proving any real benefit. And they spend millions of dollars every year reinforcing the belief that more vitamins equals better health. But inside medical conferences, where doctors quietly take notes and research is projected onto giant screens, a very different picture is emerging. The British Medical Journal, one of the most respected medical journals in the world, reviewed 9 major clinical trials and found vitamin E supplementation increases the risk of hemorrhagic stroke by 22%. Harvard tracked thousands of physicians and saw the exact same trend. The Women's Health Study, with over 39,000 participants, confirmed it again. The higher the dose of vitamin E, the greater the risk of bleeding inside the brain. And yet, these bottles are still on shelves. And every morning, millions of older adults sit down at their kitchen table, take that little soft gel, and believe they're doing something good for their heart. Have you ever done that? Have you ever thought, it's just one pill, what harm could it do? I'm here to tell you, sometimes one pill is all it takes to change the rest of your life. And you deserve to know that. Before regret ever enters the picture, I want you to imagine this. Instead of unscrewing the lid of a supplement bottle every morning, you walk into your kitchen and open the pantry. You grab a handful of almonds, maybe toss in a few sunflower seeds, drizzle a spoonful of olive oil over your salad. You slice up half an avocado for lunch, or maybe enjoy a bowl of blueberries with breakfast. Sweet, cool, and packed with antioxidants. That's not just food. That is one of the safest, most powerful daily medicines your body can receive. Did you know? Just one handful of almonds, about 15 nuts, provides all the vitamin E your body actually needs in a day. Not too much, not too little, just right. Even better, it comes bundled with healthy fats, fiber, and enzymes that help your body absorb it naturally and safely. We don't need 800 IU. We don't even need 400. The average adult only needs 15 IU a day. And it's best delivered through real, whole food. I told Barbara, the patient I mentioned earlier, to stop taking high-dose vitamin E supplements and instead just enjoy a daily handful of almonds. She called it her heart-healthy snack therapy. And 6 months later, her blood pressure was more stable. She slept deeper. And best of all, she no longer carried the hidden risk of a healthy pill that nearly betrayed her. You see, nature has always offered us everything we need. We've just forgotten how to listen. You know what my favorite part is when I talk to older adults about nutrition? It's when I get to say, you don't have to live your life dependent on a bottle. All you really need is to go back to the way our grandparents lived. Simple, wise, intentional eating. Let me introduce you to a few friends I recommend every single patient over 60 meet with regularly. First up, blueberries. These little gems are packed with anthocyanins, powerful compounds proven to repair damaged brain cells and slow cognitive decline. Just 1 cup a day, fresh or frozen, can do wonders. Next, fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. They're rich in omega-3 healthy fats that keep your heart strong and your blood flowing smoothly. 2 servings a week can reduce stroke risk by up to 30%. And how about walnuts? They even look like little brains. And that's no coincidence. Just a small handful each day can strengthen your neural connections and keep your mind sharp well into your 82nd and 92nd. Then we have dark leafy greens like kale, Swiss chard, beet greens, spinach, even pomegranates. These are loaded with nutrients that keep your blood vessels soft and flexible, improving circulation and easing the pressure on both your heart and brain. I've seen patients who once relied on a long list of supplements suddenly become brighter, lighter, more alive, just by changing what was on their plate. You see, food isn't just fuel, it's your body's language. And when you speak to it with the right foods, your body responds with strength, clarity, and peace. You know, one of the most powerful supplements I've ever prescribed doesn't come in a bottle. You don't need a prescription for it. You've had access to it your whole life. It's your legs. Yes, a simple walk each day can do more for your health than any vitamin E capsule I've ever seen in my career. I once treated a man named Harold. He was 68, had high blood pressure, and carried a constant weight of anxiety on his shoulders. But instead of giving him another supplement, I told him, "Harold, don't take anything new this week. Just walk. 30 minutes each afternoon. That's it." 1 month later, his blood pressure was lower. His eyes were brighter. His mood had softened. And what he said next? I'll never forget it. "Doc, my legs feel stronger. But more importantly, my heart feels lighter." You see, when you move your body, you're not just helping blood flow. You're soothing your nerves, calming your mind, stimulating brain cell repair. And perhaps best of all, you sleep better at night. Deeper, more restful, naturally. But there's one ingredient for long life that people often forget altogether. Friendship, connection, community. I read a study once that showed people with strong social ties live longer, have fewer strokes, and experience less memory loss. Not because they have better conversations, but because the human heart was never meant to live in isolation. When's the last time you really laughed with a friend? Are you still in touch with that old neighbor or cousin you used to call? Pick up the phone. Invite someone for a walk. Don't lock yourself inside with a shelf full of silent pills. Have you ever had one of those nights where you toss and turn, only to wake up feeling more tired than when you went to bed? Or those short, restless nights where you open your eyes in the morning, but your mind feels foggy, unfocused, not quite there? You don't need to be a doctor to know. Quality sleep is one of the first signs your body is truly healing. But let me tell you this professionally and from the heart. Poor sleep is one of the biggest risk factors for stroke, just as serious as high blood pressure or diabetes. You see, sleep isn't just downtime. It's when your brain does its deep cleaning. It clears out toxins, repairs damaged cells, and resets your internal rhythm for the day ahead. And when you skip that, night after night after night, you're putting your brain in a constant state of emergency. You may not feel it right away, but it's happening. I once cared for an elderly woman named Rose. She ate well. She walked every day. She never touched high-dose supplements. And still she had a minor stroke. Why? She had only been sleeping 4 hours a night for 15 years. When I asked her why, she said, "Doctor, I always thought sleep was a waste of time. I've got too much on my mind to rest." Have you ever felt that way? Please hear me when I say, sleep isn't laziness. It's your birthright. It's the foundation of long life, of clear thinking, of a body that carries you with strength into your 82nd and 92nd. And you don't need sleeping pills. You just need a quiet room, a cup of chamomile tea, no phone, no late-night news, maybe a few pages from a favorite old book. That's it. And with that, you just gave yourself the chance to avoid a frightening future. If you've stayed with me this far, I want to ask you for just a few more minutes, because what I'm about to share might save your life, or the life of someone you love. You see, stroke doesn't send a warning letter. It doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't check the clock. It won't wait for you to finish the dishes or sip your morning tea. A stroke can hit at 3 o'clock in the morning, while you're sleeping peacefully, when your brain suddenly loses oxygen. And if it's not caught in time, millions of brain cells can die second by second. That's why I repeat this one simple rule to every patient I see. Fast. It's an easy way to remember the signs of stroke. And it can save a life. F. Face drooping. One side of the face looks uneven when smiling. A. Arm weakness. One arm feels heavy, weak, or can't lift up. S. Speech difficulty. Slurred words, trouble speaking, or not making sense. T. Time to call 911. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Call emergency services right away. I once treated a man, 67 years old. He had a minor stroke while pouring his morning coffee. His wife noticed the corner of his mouth drooped just slightly as he smiled. She didn't shrug it off. She didn't wait to see if it would pass. She called 911 immediately. And because of that, he made a full recovery in just a few months. Just 5 minutes of delay, and it could have been an entirely different story. No speech, no mobility, or worse. So please, remember this. Time is brain. Don't second guess it. Don't wait and see. Act. Because that one moment could define the rest of your life. Do you remember Barbara? After our conversation that day, she stopped taking high-dose vitamin E. She switched to almonds, fresh greens, and evening walks with her husband at sunset. 6 months later, she came back to my clinic. That gentle smile was still there. But her eyes, they were brighter. She looked at me and said, "Doctor, you know what? I'm not just healthier. I feel like I'm actually living again." But not everyone gets a second chance like Barbara. Richard, he's still relearning how to say his own name. And my own mother, though she's come a long way in her recovery, there are still days she can't remember her grandchild's birthday. Please don't wait for that moment. You don't have to live in fear. You don't need to walk on eggshells, second-guessing every pill. You just need to choose differently. Choose real food. Choose deep sleep. Choose joy that isn't bottled or branded. I'm not here to tell you that all vitamins are bad. I'm here to bring you closer to your body. Closer to what truly nourishes you. Not what marketing promises, but what nature has always quietly provided. Just one small shift today can unlock a decade of strength, clarity, and vitality. So, I'll leave you with this. Each morning, ask yourself, what am I choosing today? A pill or a handful of walnuts? A quick scroll through supplement labels? Or a real laugh with an old friend? You get to choose. You have the power. And I hope that after this video, you'll choose to live, to stay awake, to walk boldly on the path of true health. If this message resonated with you, drop a 10-inch the comments. If you know someone taking high-dose vitamin E, send them this video today. Don't let them be one more person saying, "I wish I had known sooner." And if you want more honest, thoughtful advice on how to live well after 50, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm Dr. Robert, and I'll be right here, walking beside you, helping you keep your mind sharp, your heart strong, and your life beautifully full.